Hello everybody, welcome back to the Zero D Gym. In this video I'm gonna talk about how to set up Android Studio and how to set up your Android emulator for this course. So first of all, what you're gonna do is open Android Studio, and I have made a tutorial on how to set up Android Studio in one of my previous videos, so I recommend going to check it out if you haven't already. And if you have Android Studio, just launch it, and you're not gonna see the screen at first, but what you will see is something like this. This will open a new project, and what you're gonna wanna do is just click on No Activity, because you're not gonna do any of these activities. Then click on Next, and you can choose a name for your project. And on this screen, what you want to change is minimum SDK. I want you to change it to 19, because maybe in our course we're going to use API 19 or something older than the newest API version to test our applications. So I recommend to choosing minimum SDK. Then on the screen you can also change stuff like language from Kotlin to Java and things like that, and then click on Finish. Then you click on Finish and everything finishes loading, you're gonna be greeted with this screen. And on the screen you're probably gonna have stuff like terminal or these project things, so you can just minimize them by clicking on this minus on this hide button. Then now I'm gonna talk about some stuff on this Android applications. So there are some really useful tools that you're gonna be using on your penetration testing journey. So the first thing that I really like, and we will be using a lot in this course, is the terminal. So the terminal is just a terminal like Linux, or in this example PowerShell. If you're running Linux, it will probably be Linux. And this is the terminal that we will use to interact with our Android emulator. Then the next thing is Logcat. Logcat is a really good tool. Logcat does it lets you see if any sensitive data is being stored in the log files, and lets you review the log files. There's also a lot more tools, not really a lot, but quite a few more tools in this. If you click on these four lines on this main menu, and then go to View and then Tool Windows, there are a lot of other tools, and I really recommend to clicking on some of them and checking them out, and they will definitely help you if you do anything more advanced. But in this course we are gonna mainly use Terminal, Logcat, and maybe some others. I can't really tell you right now, but yeah, these are just some useful tools that we are gonna be utilizing. And I like keeping terminal always on top, and you can drag these windows around wherever you want them, and you can even make them like a separate window. So yeah, it is pretty cool. So now I'm gonna just move it back here, for example, and now I'm gonna show you how to actually set up your new virtual device. So what you want to do is go click on this device manager on the top right. Then this menu is gonna pop out for you. You're gonna want to click on this plus and create new virtual device. So these are just some examples of virtual devices you can create for Android phones. You can create tablets, you can wear, it's for like watches, then desktop TV and other stuff. And you can choose your phone, like actually virtual phone that you're gonna be using for this course. It's really cool, and this isn't really a lot of difference what you're gonna choose to use, but I like going with something like this Pixel, because its resolution is 1080 on 1920. You can use whatever you want. You can use any other phone. but make sure that it has this Play Store icon enabled. Because what this Play Store icon does, it it tells you that your phone can actually access the Play Store, which we are gonna use some APKs for, which we're gonna pull some APKs from, maybe in this course, maybe not. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, we can pull APKs from Play Store, and then we can actually penetrate and actually test them later on. So I will choose this Pixel phone with Play Store. I haven't actually tried this Pixel phone. I hope it works well. And moving on from this screen, we will have to choose our APIs. So I told you before to choose API level until 19. I haven't for this project. I will use it later. But right now I'm just gonna use something that I have installed. So it's API 35. You can use any other API versions. You can see this is API version on this column here. And these are the API versions for each of the release. So for example, this Nougat is API level 24, etc. And if you want to download all their APIs, you can just click on this download button and it will download for you. And why would we want all their APIs? It's because if the application lets us run it on the older API, we can actually test it in other ways, and we can find more exploits with different API levels. So let me select this API 35 for now and click on next. Then this is the name of the phone. It's fine, everything here is fine, and I will click on finish. And now I will click wait, and it created this Pixel API 35 phone, and I will run it by clicking this button, and I can see that there's a problem, and that's why I told you to run your to install all of the things that I installed in the previous videos, not on a virtual machine but on your main machine, because some functions on virtual machines are just not going to work. So I will come back on my main machine and I will continue on showing you this Android Studio. Okay, I'm back on my main machine. And on this machine, I actually have Nexus 5 phone with API version 35. And if you click on this run button, as I told you, it will start up your phone. So to access your virtual phone, you can just go above the device manager. There's a little button for running devices. Click on this button and you will access your virtual phone. This phone works just like any other phones, and it is almost fully functional. And one of the features some of the features that I want to talk about in this video is these device tools that are that we can use with our phone. So if we click on these three dots for extended controls, we can see there are a bunch of options for our phone. So what we can do is we can actually manipulate our phone and actually make it appear from other location and things like that. So for example, if I go to location, I can appear myself from any other location that I want and things like that. Then we can have phone, like test messages. We can add image to camera. I'm not gonna actually do that. I will show you some stuff with camera, for example. And let's wait for the camera to launch. I will click on next, and then I hope it works while using the app, sure. And yeah, what we can see that there are just some images or stuff like that. We can actually manipulate our camera and it will not show you what it actually is. I actually don't remember how to use it, but you could use it for like other applications. For example, if you're pen testing a camera application or something similar like that, and I hope it closes. You can also click on these buttons up here, for example, to go to home, and it will just like click on the phone button home and it will go to home, and yeah, stuff like that. So these extended controls are really useful to manipulate the connection with your phone and to manipulate things that are on the phone. And as I told you, with our terminal, you're gonna be interacting with our phone. And as you can see, here is Linux, because I have set it up for myself, Windows subsystem for Linux, which is basically just Linux on Windows. And I can type, for example, adb shell. Adb shell. I hope I can type. And I forgot that I don't have installed ADB on this Linux, so I will just go back to my local machine. On my PowerShell, I will type ADB shell. And as we can see, we are in this phone. So what I can do ls. And these are all of the files on the phone. I can go to, for example, data. And the thing is that I don't have rooted this phone. It's not rooted, so I cannot access all the things. And I will later on show you how to root your phone, your Android phone, and how to actually access some of the stuff that are only accessed by rooted phones. And yeah, that is basically it for this video. We have set up our virtual device, and in the next video, hopefully, we will start hacking. And I will show you how to set up injured Android. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later.